Everything I'm singing is real, I'm living a verse. Under pressure, I was feeling the heat. Nothing left but jail, therefore, back to get a deal. The stress is real. Everything I'm singing is real, I'm living a verse. Under pressure, I was feeling the heat. Nothing left but jail, therefore, back to get a deal. The stress is real.
The stress is real, how can you deal with all the ups and downs? Remain solid and stay in your lane. Don't let the bumps on the road make you go insane. Make you go insane. I know it's hard feeling all that pain. A starving artist, hungry for a record deal. Watch out, let me take the wheel. I got a plan of action. Gotta stay on the right path with no distractions. Don't let them distract. They said focus, Mike. It's hard to concentrate when you got other shit on your mind. Never mind, you would never understand where I'm coming from. Really, a little kid that made it out the slums. Like we never had enough, but maybe someday. Hey, keep wishing. That's right. Keep praying to God, maybe someday.
Everything I'm singing is real, I'm living a verse. Under pressure, I was feeling the heat. Nothing left but jail, therefore, back to get a deal. The stress is real. Everything I'm singing is real, I'm living a verse. Under pressure, I was feeling the heat. Nothing left but jail, therefore, back to get a deal. The stress is real.
Too many rappers in the game, it's overpopulated. This game ain't complicated, I'm undercompensated. Put in the work, add the verse. Before we start, go broke. Late night news, front page rapper Jaydabee, hang by the throat. Tell me, have you ever worked for what you got? Have you set a budget for yourself? Do you know what it feel like to be broke? I ain't talking 16 at your mama scraping scratch for the dope. I'm talking keep the car out of sight so don't get repo. Extension past due, now you out on the streets though. Your job ain't fucked, but you still got to eat. Whoa, missed court last week, still dodging the 5-0. We running up the rate, keeping up with the Joneses. Don't ask what it takes, said we already own this.
Everything I'm singing is real, I'm living a verse. Under pressure, I was feeling the heat. Nothing left but jail, therefore, back to get a deal. Everything I'm singing is real, I'm living a verse. Under pressure, I was feeling the heat. Nothing left but jail, therefore, back to get a deal. The stress is real.
This is going to be more of a stress test, kind of like last time, to be honest with you. So we'll see how this pans out. Yeah, so we'll see how this pans out in the next, like, few minutes, I guess. And we'll see what's what. Hope you guys have been doing all right. Big ups to everybody in chat. What's up, Prop? Let's see, we got Bill there, got Joe, got Ox, got Bill, got a bunch of people. What's up? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. I have missed out on quite a bit. I've been on side quests, to be honest with you. I would do that for most of the year. But I'm going to, you know, like I said, I want to try to do a stream here like once a week and then once on the main channel. And now that the main channel's in good standings, I can start getting videos back up. So that's the thing. To be honest with you, we can talk about whatever you guys want. To be honest, I will say that me and Proper's last conversation, basically everything that I thought was gonna happen happened, as it pertains to the situation with Rich, especially. Because Jesus Christ, Rich is a fucking nut. Like, I don't know how you guys sat there and let him do what he did for as long as he did. And I understand that your favorite detractor's favorite detractor is like, is a mod for him or a pay pig or whatever the case may be, or whatever. Or, you know, you guys saw some type of financial situation to it, or you thought Rich was going to bring you popularity. Rich never gave a fuck about none of those people. He used y'all. And the moment he was done with using you guys, he dispatched you. That's what Rich has always done. That's what Rich will always do. That's what Rich always will do. If you guys knew his history, you guys would know exactly what I'm talking about. He's done that to everybody. There is not one person that Rich knows that he hasn't fucked over in some way, shape, or form, and whatnot. And Jesus Christ, I do know this, because Ethan Ralph is down bad. he's down bad a lot. He better get his ass out of Mexico before shit get crazy. But before shit get crazy. But I will say, as it pertains to Rich's dumbass falling for the fucking pantsuit shit, and then Rich basically came up there and was like, yeah, zip. So which one of you guys are gonna go first? Which one of you guys are gonna go ahead and get started? And all that. Dick, balls, scrotum, all that. Who's gonna be first? And Rich was the first one on his knees. And people, and that was just cool? And that was there and told people in the detractor community to kiss the ring and suck his dick. So I don't know if any of you guys have gone back to him or whatnot. I don't know if you guys have tried to smooth things over. I don't know what any of you guys have done. But Jesus Christ, hopefully you guys got your shit together. Hopefully you guys understand exactly who you guys are dealing with, and not everybody who makes fun of DSP, that doesn't mean that they're on the up and up with you. At the end of the day, Rich did not come out of the fucking sandbox with none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Rich is not your boy. You guys didn't come up together. This is business. This is business. And the way he treated Hogan, to be honest with you, like, I don't know what the deal is with that, but he run around on Twitter for like 12 hours. It may have been 24. But it was like, he was on Twitter chasing after Hogan like that was one of his hoes or something. Like Hogan needed to come up and say something to him. He had to address him. They need to have a talk. I don't know what that was. I don't know when he thought he could treat Hogan, or anybody else for that matter, like he was one of his bitches, but that was wild. That was wild that he thought he could be comfortable enough to do that to somebody else. That's just my opinion on that. But Hogan kept clowning him, so it is what it was. So, but I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know what that was. That was... you be careful who you get in bed with. That's all I'm going to say. To my fellow detractors, trolls, haters, and critics, be careful who you get in bed with. Because Rich has a track record. It's out there. You know what I'm saying? It's out there. Just like that situation with Soma. He had a track record too. It was out there. I mean, do what you gotta do. Like I said, do what you will. But Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh wow, Superhound's back in the mix? Well, I mean, DSP's down bad from what I hear. Like, DSP's in a real bad spot. It's like in a really bad spot to where, and I'm sorry, chat, if I mess up some of these details. You know how we get down over here. But DSP equated his life to that of a character from one of the Dragon video games or whatever, the current one that's out. And then he ended up getting mocked for it. And then he said, because he's the internet's trash can... I'm sorry. That's not what he said. My bad. He said, just because I'm DarkSydePhil doesn't mean I'm not a person. It doesn't mean I don't have thoughts and feelings and I don't have opinions. And basically, you guys need to respect his authority. That's what that was. And then, not only did the detractors laugh at his ass, as they should, but then he got mocked by his own community to some degree and whatnot. What's up, nowhere? And then all of a sudden, he ain't giving you guys some bitch-made, black shirt begging apology video yesterday, I guess. I haven't seen it yet. And whatever, and he got rewarded $150 for it. Even though, within that same black shirt begging video, he basically said, I fuck up, I'm going to fuck up, and I'm going to keep fucking up, and basically you guys just need to sit there and eat it. As if Cat hasn't eaten enough already. Speaking of which, where is Cat at? I thought we were going to get once a week with Cat. I thought that was going to be a thing. Now all of a sudden she didn't want to come on stream no more, I guess. So that didn't work out. The fucking documentary is done, which is a good thing, by the way. I know you guys don't see it now, but the documentary going to shit is a good thing. It's a good thing. It wasn't going to benefit anybody in the detractor community. It wasn't made for any of us. It was made for normies. And it was going to demonize a good portion of us. That's what it was meant to do. The problem is DSP has no redeemable factors. He has nothing to his life. The internet is his shit. That's all he has. It's all he has to live for. Mike can't make shit out of that. Last time I checked, 10% of nothing is still nothing. So what else was going to come afterwards? DSP has nothing to him. The man has nothing, and I use the term man loosely. He has nothing to him. He has nothing of value at all. If YouTube went down tomorrow, he's proper fucked. He's proper fucked. Let's stop acting like DSP has all these redeemable qualities and shit. Because I get fucking sent this shit all the time. I'll give you an example. I'm not gonna say the person though, because I'm cool with this person and whatnot. I value their opinion. You're gonna basically admit that DSP is good at fucking fighting games. He's not. I'm sorry. He's not. He's average. He's average, and I'm not giving him any more than that. And the reason why not only you, because you know who I'm talking to and whatnot, but not only the reason why you say that, other people say that, is because he's been doing it for damn near 20 years, and he's still trash at it, and you're having what is known as the early stages of troll remorse. You feel the need to give him something. Fuck that. Not fuck you, because you're my mans, but fuck that. I'm not going to sit there and give him sympathy. I'm not going to sit there and feel bad that he failed at something his entire life, that he's essentially devoted to it, because he wasn't willing to get past his own bullshit. I'm not saying that DSP doesn't have the capability to be a good player. Sorry, I lied. He don't have the capability of doing it anymore. I will admit that he had the chance of being a good player back in the day. Not a great player, not a champion, but he could have been a solid contender. He could have been a great doormat, gatekeeper, because there's a difference between a gate mat and a doormat and a gatekeeper, by the way. He would have been a good doormat / gatekeeper for newer players that were trying to get into the scene. He would have been a pretty good measuring stick, no pun intended, at that point. I can go with that 100%. But to say that he was above average, to sit there and say that he was damn near championship contender, nah, fuck all that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing all that. I'm not gonna lie to myself to make myself feel better for some asshole who couldn't get his own head and his own fucking hooves out of his own ass. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all, to be honest with you. He was never good enough, to be honest. How many people did you need to prove that? You have Evil AJ. You have Goji Tanks. Jesus Christ, you can throw a Piece of Peace in there. I'd like to see Piece of Peace have longer sets against him, because that's how you kind of really measure skill, but either which way. How much do you guys really need? Like, honestly, you've seen him get pounded out, no pun intended, in Super Turbo, in one of the many iterations that he played. I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit here and give him brownie points because he can beat up scrubs. I'm not doing that. That's just not happening. You take that to your favorite detractor's favorite detractor and you go ahead and ask them for that shit. You're not getting that from me. Not here. Not here. I'm not going to lie to myself like that. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I don't care how long he's done something. He chose the failure that he got. End of story. Did he have a chance to be did he have a chance to be good? Like, to be solid even? Yeah, he had a chance to. But DSP does the way DSP does anything is the way he does everything. He wanted, and he decided to live and die on that hill. And that's it. And that's it. Just like with YouTube. That's the reason why he never wanted to go to direct capture. That's the reason why he never wanted to collab with people outside of people that were already in his circle that he could control or he could manipulate. I'm not going to sit there and give him shit for shit. Fuck all that. Same thing with Rich. Rich was a failure too. Most of the communities that Rich has been in his early YouTube thing, he ended up getting ran out or pushed out because he acted like a fucking asshole. He got what he got. Fuck that dude. Fuck both of them, to be honest with you. Lol cows for lol cows. And same thing with, and now that we're talking about that, let's jump to lol cow live for a minute. I've already told you about that. But the fact that Wings quit and then somehow forced Keem to come back to the table and negotiate because Jordy, or it's on Jordy's part, that's his fault. He's the one who sat there and thought it was funny, thought it was edgy, and thought that was something to be said or that added anything to Painkiller. It didn't. That was the dumbest thing to lie about. And that's if he's even lying. Because I gotta be honest with you, I don't know any sane person who jokes like that. To further push that point, I don't know any sane person who would lie about that. I'm sorry. That's just not a thing. Jordy's former friend or whatever, I don't think everything that guy said was a lie. I don't think all of it was true, but I think not everything was a lie. What's up, Jesse? So, that's my thoughts on that. But the fact that Keem needs to just go ahead and fold his cards and just let that shit go. It's useless. It's useless. Boogie is an absolute miserable piece of shit on his own. Wings on his own streams is unentertaining and uninspiring, and basically he can't even motivate himself. And then for those of you who are like, hey man, I think he's actually kind of funny on the show. No, he's good at bouncing off of people. But it's not even bouncing. He has to insult people to make himself feel better, to get a joke over. If he can't make a joke just out of nowhere. He just doesn't have that in him. That's why he's okay with going around on the internet looking for dirt on other people and shit. You saw that with the Only Use Me Blade thing. He's had a grudge against Only Use Me Blade forever. And that starts back to Call of Duty, because he never liked Blade's style. And yet Blade defended him when Wings was camping, which is Wings' MO, to be honest. And he actually defended him on it. Him and a lot of the old guard felt it was a viable style. Eventually it ends up getting old, but it is what it is. So it is what it is on that. So like I said, Keem just let that shit go. It's a dead concept. The reason why is you're trying to use that podcast and you're trying to appeal to normies through a commentator community standpoint or viewpoint, if you will. First off and foremost, if Boogie and Wings shouldn't be reaching out to anybody, what they should be doing is doing research on other locales that they're interested in, make clips, and bring that and present that to the show each and every week. Each one of them presently done. And then they should have had Nick or Mutahar or Turkey go ahead and fucking actually reach out, because they're the ones that are respectable. But then, according to Nicholas Diorio, I'm looking at his tweet right now. Nicholas Diorio said that he left Locale a while ago. So, and I don't know what Turkey's doing, and I don't know what Mutahar's doing. So that wasn't going to work. And then the story about how the money's getting fluctuated over there don't make no goddamn sense. Because Wink said initially, it's in a Lumix video, and I think it's in a Breaking Banquet too, but it's in a Lumix video, an older one. Wink said money was getting cut up 7 ways. He said it was between him, Tommy, Boogie, Keem, and then the farmers. But it's not cut up 7 ways, it's theoretically cut up 8 because of the editor. And the editor is the one who is guaranteed to get paid because he's the one that's really doing work. But then they're saying that, oh, the editor kind of messed up some stuff and this, that, and the third. But Tommy admits that his audio wasn't very good and Keem got mad at him. Matter of fact, Wings admitted the same thing recently too. That his audio came up bad a couple times, and Keem was basically verbally beating the shit out of him too. So anyway, it doesn't matter. There's a whole bunch of things on that show that don't make no fucking sense at all. Don't make any sense. They need to let that shit die. To be honest with you, scrap that shit, scorched earth, and then start over. Let's see here. From what I've seen, Jesse, as it pertains to locale, you're not missing anything. You're not missing a goddamn thing. You are not missing a goddamn thing. To be honest. And then, and actually one more thing and we'll move on. Wings not liking the concept of being called a pedo. I think anybody can relate to that if you're not a pedo. The thing is with Wings is he's done everything to earn that. What did you think you were going on that show for? You were going up there to get humiliated. Would you? And if you were going to be able to argue your points, then argue them. I mean, what more is it? You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised they haven't had a Wing troll up there yet as a guest, because they need to do that, I think. But then Wings is just going to fold like he did against Ethan Ralph. He folded fast. Like at first he had his chest all out and shit and whatnot. You know, Wendy's chili all over it and everything. And then all of a sudden he realized he can't talk down to Ethan. Then he realized that he can't use Ethan's age, or he can't throw simple math problems at him. to try to throw him off or whatever nonsense grooming type shit that is. And let me actually speak on that. Whenever you get into an argument with someone and the first thing that comes out your mouth is, how old are you? That makes you sound like a groomer. That's what that sounds like. It sounds like you're leaning into the very shit that people accuse you of. And to reinforce that, you want to throw the math problems on, you want to throw in basic fucking questions that people have dealt with in either middle school or early high school or whatever the case may be. That makes you sound even more like a groomer. You sound like an old man trying to use your age to dominate someone who is younger and or less experienced than you. And the fact that no one called him out on that still shocks me. It shocks me that that's not something that someone hasn't told his ass. Maybe people wouldn't call him a fucking pedophile if he didn't talk like one. Maybe. Alright, on to the next thing. So DSP saying he wants to send you guys a spoon or whatever, and you can eat the shit out of his ass or whatever. I don't know. I guess maybe. I mean, him and Vince McMahon apparently have a lot in common, but I mean, that's not anything new when it comes to a blow up. We've all heard something similar to that before. It's taken him a while to get there. Money's low. That whole situation with Catherine, him taking advantage of her, thinking he was going to profit off of her, didn't work. Of course it didn't. And, I mean, truth be told, he's down bad. And he's probably going to be. It's just like, I just saw this yesterday. I didn't catch this whole stream, but I caught the Pokimane part of it. It's a Gundam went over Poki's video that she just put out of her leaving Twitch to come to YouTube. Even though she's not leaving Twitch because she's on one of their boards over there for like creator relations or some shit. So she really isn't leaving Twitch per se. But whatever. And she basically said, hey, everything was basically milk and honey in 2020, and then as the years went on, shit slowed up. Well, that's what happens when you fucking have a pandemic and people were stuck at home and no one really thought about what the ramifications on the economy was going to be after, shit gets not squared up, but once shit gets better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the world just doesn't stop and then start again and everybody's just in a good position. It don't work that way. She's fucking off of the platform because, one, she don't have no real say anymore. The thoughts that she's always been rallying against, if you follow Pokimane, even though she's a thought herself, the thoughts that she's been rallying against basically run the hen house. They're the ones that have all of the real power and control, and she don't. Because she puts herself on this virtuous woo-woo type little personality and shit. Like, if you haven't gone to her Instagram or her Twitter, like, she isn't afraid to show a little bit of skin. But she's not a thought like the rest of them. So that's the thing with Poki. Well, you're seeing that same thing with DSP. The money's slow. The money isn't getting better. It was crazy good for him in 2020 and 2021, I'd say. And he thought he was going to be like that forever. Just like how he thought he was going to be at the helicopter company forever. Just like he thought he was going to be part of Machinima forever. Just like how he thought him and John were going to be friends forever. And yada, yada, yada. And he's learning very quickly that he's falling the fucking apart. And he deserves it. It is what it is. It's what happens when you don't fucking... you can't... It's what happens when you can't see the forest for the trees. So, it is what it is. What do I think about the Argentinian shit? I think it's funny as hell, to be honest with you. Not only is it funny, by the way, it's hilarious, actually. It's fucking hilarious. His solution was to make a new tier, right? And I think it's like $6.99, I guess, or it's $5.99, whatever. It's like $2 more than what the base tier is. And he thinks that's going to offset it. Well, here's the thing, and I don't condone giving DSP money, trolling or not, but it's your money, do what you got to do. If you're sending gifted subs or gifted memberships, and at the velocity that people are sending them, in the 50s or in the hundreds, if there's not any people there to claim it, as me and ProleteR spoke about, I don't even think he even gets that money. But that doesn't even matter. If someone floods his community with enough gifted shit to where none of the regulars can actually get a membership themselves, and they essentially have to get a supplemental membership to put on top of theirs, think about what he walks away with. $2 US on top of whatever he's getting in Argentinian pesos. He's walking away what he would normally get from a normal fucking sub or a membership. He's fucked all the way around. And it's so cheap. Like I said, I don't endorse this or anything, but it's so cheap that between 4 people, they could flood his community like that for all year. All year. Do you know how... I know it doesn't seem like much right now, and that's probably because I'm saying it. Go to your favorite detractor. They'll articulate it better. But if you really think about it from an economic standpoint, they've crippled his income already by half. Already. Which means he has to lean on people for super chats and tips. But didn't one of his subs get lambasted the other night and whatnot? And he was over there chilling with I think he was on Meerkat's stream actually. And Meerkat basically gave him a couple of smacks too, because and Meerkat was right. How the fuck are you gonna come over here and expect me to give you condolences and shit? How many people did you see get fucked over like you did and you were okay with it because, oh, it's not me, I'm good. I'm still got my little place in the Gaudi Gestapo. I don't have nowhere to run. I don't have nothing to worry about. My position is secure. Until it wasn't. You want to know what that cuck shit was? That cuck shit was the same thing that Panda went through. Because Panda saw what happened to John. She saw what happened to Howard. She saw what happened to fucking OJ. She at least heard what happened to Respect the Pack. She saw what happened, what he was doing to his fans and shit. And she thought, in her heart of hearts, that would never happen to her. That DSP would never do her dirty until he did. Until he was so mad, so angry, that he was like, give that bitch a pill and leave her ass somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all wild. And that goes back to the shit I said about Rich. Like, sooner than later, Rich is gonna do the same fucking shit to anybody and everybody that's in that little circle. I don't know what you think you need Rich for, but sooner than later, you guys are the next on the chopping block. That's all that is. And I'm not gonna sit here and say, I told you so. I'm just gonna be like, whatever with it. You know, it is what it is. I don't know y'all or anything, so I don't have no really attachment to any of you outside of us supposed to be detractors and shit, which is the only reason why I'm saying something. Because I don't want to see nobody be in a bad spot. But if you guys want to keep doing what you want to do, go ahead. I wish you the best on that shit. I wish you the best. Until that shit turns on you and shit, and then what? So, that's what that was. So you can't feel no sympathy for a former DSP fan and shit when they sat around and watched that shit happen. That's just retarded. What's up, Monster? What's up, dude? What's up, Crane? Yeah, like, you can't have no sympathy for on this side of the fence or on the other side of it. You can't. You can't. And then, since we're back on to that situation with Rich again, how all this started over what? Because people had concerns over the documentary and thought that Rich was going to fuck it up? Who said that, first off and foremost? Keem should have been able to shoulder that, or would have shouldered that better than Rich did. Against him for no fucking reason. I don't get it. I don't get it. But then again, infighting amongst people these days is just starting to become the norm, so it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, DSP's blow up the other day and then his bitch ass apology yesterday doesn't mean anything. It's just another day in the life. It's just another day. And like I said, there's nothing lost from that documentary. It really isn't. It would have been, I think some of the interviews would have been cool with like some of the people that aren't DSP, but that house is in fucking disarray, Cat is fat, and DSP doesn't have nothing to him. He has no redeemable qualities to him whatsoever. As far as I'm concerned, Mike wasted his time. And that's if I'm being generous, because I honestly think that that DSP purposely wasted Mike's time. I think DSP did it on purpose. Yeah, but see, I don't watch DSP though. I don't watch him do that. I always watch DSP through a filter. After that 24-hour thing, more than likely you will get a membership. So, and especially recently, because I was reading somewhere, it may have been on Reddit, excuse me, for the DSP's upcoming event or whatever for the Super Bowl or whatever the case may be. I'm pretty sure he don't even know what teams are playing, but it doesn't matter. People were asking if Kat was going to show up, and he was like, "No, she just wants to make food. She just, okay, if that's what her position in life is, to be honest." And with that being said, and I have to be honest about this, don't defend Kat. Well, let me reword that. You shouldn't defend Kat. She put herself in that situation, to be honest. And you can clearly see in her 2 appearances that she has a lot of regret. But she did it to herself. She had options. She had choices. She didn't have to sit there and let herself be plumped up. Right? She didn't have to let that happen. She could have walked around her own neighborhood. She could have talked to her neighbors and they could have, I don't know, had a walking party or whatever the case may be. She works, excuse me, she could have left the house a little early, hit the gym, grab a shower, and go to work, or do it after work. Bring a change of clothes. Excuse me. She had options. She did it to herself. August, DSP just needs to go back to, he needs to just go back. People are kind of like, I wouldn't say jumping ship, but the way that the way streaming's ecosystem's working right now, I mean, he might as well, to be honest. Because I heard that he had a bitch fit over YouTubers, well, he said YouTubers quitting. But it's really YouTubers just moving on with their lives. The ones that are successful enough to. You can always come back to YouTube in the same way you can always come back to DSP content. And DSP's mad because he doesn't have that option. He sat there and lived for himself day to day and couldn't see beyond his own hoof and his own snout. Now he has nothing to show for it. Imagine, chat, for just a brief second, excuse me. Imagine for the briefest of moments that you wake up and you're 41, 42, and you have nothing. I want you to really think about that for just a minute. Let me paint the picture for you. You have nothing. You have a house that you don't own. You have a used car outside that God knows what kind of condition it's in because you barely ever had the damn thing serviced. You have a wife who's not really your wife. She's a roommate / caretaker / your mom. So you have no type of real spousal type relations, and that doesn't even have to mean sexually, I should say. I'm just talking about emotionally. You have no emotional contact with anybody on a physical plane, in a physical realm. The only thing you have is that fucking box upstairs, and that fucking television, and that fucking mic. That's it. To an audience that is dwindling by the day, with newer detractors popping up. I feel like it's almost every other week, and you can do nothing about it. All you can do is sit there and bitch into the ether, and no one cares. And the ones who do care mock you. The other ones who don't care passively watch it, laugh at it, and then move on with their day. You have nothing. You have nothing. And critics are literally all you have. Oh, and your grifters, to be honest with you, and your dents. But other than that, you have nothing. He doesn't have not one meaningful relationship in his life that he can point to. He doesn't have anybody he can sit there and call and say, "Hey man, can I vent to you for just a second? Can I have a few minutes of your time and shit?" You know what I mean? Or, "Hey man, you have a moment I could talk, that you can talk," or whatever. I have people online and offline I can do that too. DSP has neither. He has no one that he can relate to. Because what is he going to bitch at them about? YouTube? Haters? What else? What else does he have outside of those two things? Help me. Help me. What does he have? He has nothing. He has an entire ecosystem around him that he can't profit from. His excuses for why he can't do things or why he can't accomplish things are so regurgitated, right? They're just constant reruns at this point. He's got nothing. The dude's literally got nothing. And see, this is why I think troll remorse is starting to become a thing. Because I think some people are just tired of beating on him. I think they honestly look at it and be like, I don't think they feel bad for him because DSP's a piece of shit, right? But I think at the same time, it's like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the guy literally has nothing. So what do you do at that point? He's not going to look inward. He's not going to sit there and address his own problems. I mean, shit. The amount of shit that he's taking for how his wife is, right? That right there in itself should tell you very clearly what kind of person DarkSydePhil is. You know what I mean? Like, how do you get past that? You know what I mean? How are you gonna tell me DarkSydePhil is a good person and he let that happen to that girl or to that woman over the span of 5 years? She damn near looks like Chantel. She's starting in another 5 years. She's gonna be in death status if she don't fix that. That's a problem. And this isn't me white knighting or simping. That's a problem. When you get married or when you get into a relationship with someone or even a friendship or whatever the case may be, you're there to kind of complement each other, right? You're there to better each other and shit. That's not what happened to her. Clearly. And I'll debate anybody on that. But it shouldn't need to be. That's right there should be it's just the choir. It's just preaching to the choir at this point. It is what it is. Yeah, that documentary is going to make him look like shit, Jim. That documentary is going to make him look like shit. Utter crap. And now the only thing DSP can kind of like rely on is the June the King documentary. And who knows where that's going to go. The Throwback Channel was a waste of time, and no, there's no game that will save the business. DSP's, for all intents and purposes, DSP's done. The brain's dead. The body just hasn't caught up yet. That's all it is. He will go up there and do the same bullshit each and every day as long as someone throws shekels at him. Until his spending habit, either he goes broke again because of his spending habit or his parents die. And he gets the cash infusion that he needs. Other than that, DSP's, for all intents and purposes, he's done. There is no quick fix to his problem, and there's no real solution for him in the long term. He can't change who and what he is, right? Like, let me give you an example. I'll use myself as an example. I'm an asshole, to be honest with you, and I've always been very upfront about that shit. I'm a fucking asshole, and I'm not gonna change. I don't insult people that I don't have to, and I don't go after people unless I feel that I have a reason to do so. Outside of that, it is what it is. I don't consider myself a good person because I don't put myself out there as a good person. I don't need to be praised for some nonsense and shit. This isn't some fucking moral fucking situation with DSP. I think DSP is a piece of shit and I have something to say about it. End of story. I don't need any further justification of that. I just want to be heard. And that's it. And I've been given that. I've been given far more than I deserve, to be honest with you. End of story. That's a very honest take. Does that qualify me for sainthood? No. That's me being honest with myself. That's what that is. And the problem is, as anybody would tell you, you look into this shit long enough and that shit's going to look back at you. And that's kind of one of the problems with the infighting as it pertains to detractors, trolls, haters, and critics. You don't like what you see. When you see DSP, you see an aspect of yourself that you don't like. And no one seems to be able to admit that. And that's fine. If you can't admit it, you can't. But that's the truth. That's the reason why there's so much interest in shit as it pertains to DSP. The real thing is, we all see an aspect of DarkSydePhil that we don't like. And most of us have worked very hard to change that. Or, by watching DarkSydePhil, you've wanted to change. You've stepped out of your comfort zone and either looked for a better job, bettered your something. And that's okay. It's okay to use DarkSydePhil as a fucking stepping stone. Because that's all he's good for. I don't know why we have to make excuses otherwise. If someone says, oh, you're a loser because you watch DarkSydePhil content. Okay, well, why are you here? You must be a loser too. Right? So we can be losers together. So are we going to get better? Are we going to be better? Or what? Because you don't have to morally flex on DarkSydePhil to be better. Just do better. Just do better. Anybody who's listening to me right now, or just anybody in the detractor community in general, you are capable of doing far more than DSP will ever be able to do. Just do it. The first step is the hardest. DarkSydePhil, Wings of Redemption, Boogie, ReviewTechUSA, they all failed at that. That's why they're all where they're at. That's why they have to lie to people. They have to manipulate people. That's the reason why they most of them have doxed people at one time or another, or they've sent their audiences after people. And then I'm gonna give you guys a bit of a sneak peek. I'm listening to a sound clip that was just sent to me. This is from the guy who does the deep fake shit on Cat, Shinko, right? And I'm listening to his segment while I'm talking to y'all. And he's talking about some woman on Twitter that fucking Rich is fucking stalking and shit. Well, my thing is, most of y'all are in bed with him, or were, so what are y'all gonna do about that? And I don't mean Shinko in particular, but I'm just saying in general, who's gonna do something about that? You know what I'm saying? We're out here. I thought the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics were the losers. And we're the wackos and all this bullshit. But he's stalking some random girl on Twitter? Maybe not random, I don't know her, but you know what I mean. He's stalking some chick on Twitter. So where's all that energy at for all this other bullshit that we have to take care of or whatever? Where's that energy at for him? Just saying. We're going to keep everything on the up and up, right? Where's all that energy at? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Because that's some really strange shit. Fucking A. What's up, Dawson? I'm good, man. How about you? But yeah, that's just crazy. Yeah, DSP was definitely going to get wrecked in Tekken. Like, he's not built for that. I understand he had his little Tekken 3 tournament back in the day against some 12-year-old in some epic match or whatever the fuck it was, when he wasn't chasing after 14-year-old girls, by the way. I understand that whole nonsense or whatever, but, I mean, he's not technically sound for that. Like, here, let me give you an example. There's someone that I am working on a piece for. This guy named, sorry, I haven't been focusing on it as of late. So, Leffen. It's from the Smash community, where they're infested with pedophiles too, and no one's doing nothing about it. Anyway, this guy Leffen, and I think the title of the video, once I'm done with it, is Leffen is just a more successful DarkSydePhil, because he literally has a. That's really all that is. And Leffen's a piece of shit. He's a massive piece of shit. Anyway, the point that I bring him up is he tried to jump into Tekken 7, right? And he thought, because he is a good player, I have to say, like, Leffen's even a great player to some degree. He thought, because he's a great player, he could just step into Tekken and be able to pick it up. And it didn't happen. So he went off and said it was a bad game and shit, and the fucking Tekken community on Twitter fucking roasted that. Like, ate him. And whatnot. And then Leffen backed the fuck off. And whatnot. Which goes back to one of the reasons why, when he won Guilty Gear at EVO last year or whatever, no one clapped. Because every community that motherfucker goes into, he disrespects it in some way, shape, or form. Now that I think about it, and not to pull a DSP or nothing, but why the hell is he leaving the Smash community and Brawl community anyway? Oh, because he had already fucked it up by helping with all those false allegations and whatnot of sexual assault and all that shit he accused other people for. Him trying to use the Me Too movement to boost his own balls up because God knows he can't do shit else. And whatever. And then once it all came out that most of that shit was bullshit, like a large amount of it was bullshit or fabricated. Now he wanted to tuck tail and run. That's why he's trying to sit there and make a space for him in Guilty Gear. And even though he's good enough to win EVO, big ups to him, no one gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? He tried to do the same thing in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Isn't good enough. The Japanese have his ass free. He tried to, what else was he playing? Oh, he tried to play Street Fighter 6. And like the quitter that he is, as soon as he couldn't win his first match and then got bodied the next match, he just went ahead and DQ'd himself from the whole fucking tournament. Straight pussy. Just straight pussy. To be honest. And yet people sit there and defend him. And it's like, dude, whatever. You guys aren't fucking Smash fans and shit. You guys are just fans of Leffen. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? There are people out there that are LeBron James fans and they're not fans of the Lakers. They're just fans of LeBron. Just call it what it is. It's fucking lame, man. Fucking lame. And then, like, the shit that goes on in Girl World is stupid. Which, now that I think about it, right, let me vent a little bit about fucking Null. Fucking dumbass. Alright, so Null sat there and ends up essentially demodding two guys, right? ProleteR and Closing Our Closet. Or Closing Your Closet. And he's sitting there saying that at least ProleteR anyway, he felt like he wasn't on the up and up because he makes money off his content. That's DSP content or anti-DSP content, whatever. You know the fucking story. Yet Null is up there fucking doing all this clown world shit and whatever, right? On his own show. I watch it, so don't get me wrong and whatnot. But how the fuck is someone how is he essentially compromised because he makes money off of his channel? Yet you do a stream twice a week doing the exact same thing. It's your site, I agree. But he was one of the people who agreed to do it. Where's the conflict of interest? And then on top of that, I really had to sit here and think about this. I thought Nick Rekieta, who is now in some weird ass fucking wannabe swinger type shit with Steel Toe. You guys remember Steel Toe, right? Some of you guys endorsed those idiots. You guys remember that shit, right? Well, all of a sudden they're over there in Minnesota, and they're over there in some hot tub on some weird shit. At least Nick and the guy was. The wives were just whatever. But I don't know what nonsense that was, but that shit was kind of weird. It was really fucking weird. Like, if you guys are, just send the women back in the house and do whatever you guys are going to do. Matter of fact, ask Rich if he wants to come by and shit, if he's not going to masturbate to it later. But whatever. But think about Nick. Think about Dick Masterson. Think about Ralph. Think about anybody that Josh was at least on friendly terms with at one time or another over the years. And think about how they all turned on him. Now here's the thing. I do not blame Josh for any of those people that I named turning on him. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I will say is Josh gave those people more credit than what they deserve. Now, out of everybody I named, I'm be honest. I'm actually kind of saddened on what happened to Nick. I gotta be honest. I'm kind of saddened what happened to Nick Rekieta. You know, drinking yourself into a stupor. You sound like you want a divorce, but you can't because there's no prenup, which, I mean, you had nothing when you guys got married, really, even though you come from an affluent family from what I'm told. Even though you're going to tell me that, yo, you came from a bad part of Houston and this, that, and the third. You know, it's funny because Drake said the same thing. And I'm not discounting that it's not. I'm just saying. But, it's a shame. It's unfortunate what happened to Nick. I gotta be honest with you, man. It's just really sad what happened to Nick. Actually, since you brought that up, Flo, Shinko said that he was willing to go on to Rich's little challenge, Twitter space stream or whatever, and Rich wasn't going for it, but he was okay with calling out Hogan all night. Calling out some woman all night, and I think he eventually let I don't know who the guy is, but I can't remember who the guy is, but he let some other guy on the talk or whatever. I mean, make of that what you will. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where's that energy for everybody else? Because supposedly there were detractors out here who wanted to go up there and say something, but he avoided all that. So. Yeah, if you watch Takin on a high level, you can understand why DSP is not going to get that shit at all. When your only response, yeah, sorry about that. Me cutting out is because I'm testing like two other programs in the background. Like I said, you're kind of guinea pigs right now. I got to be honest. So it's going to probably do that for a minute. But it's a lot. The stream's a lot stable than it was last time, so we might be making some real progress. But I'm working on that as I'm talking. But my fault about that. No, Smash is not a fighting game. I'm sorry, it's a party game, right? And some of the people in that, I've talked to some people in that community, and there's some really cool people in there, to be honest. And like I said, and that's why I said not everybody over there is a fucking pedophile or anything like that. But I will say there's a lot of people hiding that shit and not saying anything, even though there's a list. So there's that. It's not a fighting game. Can you use some of the fundamentals in that and carry it over to something else? Sure. But no one's ever going to look at the Smash community as it's part of the FGC. It's just not. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe Max will, but I'm not. Yeah, I've seen Bossman Jack. That's just fun. He's that dude needs to he needs to get sponsorship. So this way, when he blows money, he can at least walk away with something. Oh yeah, you're right. And he banned Piece of Peace. And he banned a couple other people too for no goddamn reason at all. What's up, Sunspot? What's up, Serpent Hunter? But yeah. Yeah, I guess you could say Steel Toe is moving up in the world. Maybe. I don't know. Like, I'm not even sure how those guys even got connected. But yet again, anybody who steps into this shit, into this detractor shit or whatever, or the vortex, I should say, no one walks away from this shit clean, bruh. At all. Because for a minute there, Ralph was riding high after he had his way on LolCal Live. Then all of a sudden, things with the Mexican girlfriend or whatever the case may be, then that shit, comes about. So, that's a problem. What the fuck happened to Nick? Nick has, if you go to Alyssa Clips, it's a YouTube channel, she clips a lot of Ricada shit. He had a hot tub stream with his wife and then the two hosts of Steel Toe, and it's hard to watch. It's uncomfortable. It's cringy. It's just cringy, really. It's just really cringy. That's funny. It's a hard watch. It's a hard watch. There's nothing really funny about it. Oh, you've never heard that, actually? DX? There's Drake had an interview he did. He must have did that shit in like 2015, maybe, I guess. And it might have been 2015, I think. Anyway, he had an interview. He did an interview with some hip hop show or whatever, and he was saying that or maybe it was 2017. I can't remember now. But he had an interview, and he was basically mad that people were saying that he was Canada Dry, he was Cupcake Soft, he was he was waffle complexion, hence the reason why he's always so sensitive and shit. And he was like, hey, I was raised in a pretty rough part of Houston and shit. I was raised in a pretty tough spot. You guys have to give me some type of credit or some type of respect. And I thought it was the funniest shit ever, because I mean, there's people who have been in rougher spots and they don't ask for brownie points. That seems like a pretty bullshit type thing. Yeah, according to what Shinko said, he said he wanted that smoke. And I believe him. I don't know him and whatnot, but I believe that. So how the fuck, yet again, are we chasing around Hogan damn near all night, but Shinko's right here and whatnot? Apparently he's strapped and he's like, yo, I'm ready for the smoke, and Rich don't want none. Rich don't want any of it. So now we picking and choosing, right? So you ain't told the detractor community that they're all bitches, they're all weirdos, kiss the ring, suck my dick, and then someone comes up there and is like, yo, you say that again? And then all of a sudden he quiet. He want to chase after Hogan and some female. And then he's still stalking that female, because I'm at the point now where Shinko is saying, this dude went to this chick's Twitch account and subscribed to her, and I think he tried to send her money, or he tried to get like a membership or whatever. So this chick, you've been arguing with her for a hot minute or whatever, and now you're stalking her on Twitch, and this is who some of these people choose to get in bed with. All right, I guess. Like fucking A, man. Oh, does he really have he has a casino sponsorship? I didn't know that. My bad. I had no clue. No, I haven't seen his has created a character for Takin. No, I can be honest with you, I have not. I'm waiting to see how long he's going to play Takin before he runs back to Street Fighter, to be honest with you. But Rich has always, but yet again, Rich has always been a coward. He's always, when I look at some of the guys who have his back or whatever, or who's in his circle, or whatever the case may be, I'm surprised that more people don't know that. Like, Rich has a, like, no pun intended, but Rich has a rich history of being a lolcow. And this hesitation, because Shinko has it a little bit too. Shinko had kind of hesitated calling Rich a lolcow. There's like a slight stutter before he said it. But Rich has been a lolcow. He's been a lolcow. You know what I'm saying? If you guys knew exactly what fucking links Rich did to essentially try to decimate his troll community, and to some degree or semblance, he succeeded, you would understand why more people don't know about Rich. To be honest. Yeah, exactly. He follows and he subbed to her channel. Like, what the fuck are you doing that for? And then you running on Twitter saying, oh, she must be scared of me. She's afraid of... What? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. And the thing is, though, too, right? And I wish I had, and I wish I had told Hogan this before. And whatnot. Maybe if I could find him on Twitter. But if I wish I had told Hogan this before, that his animosity, Rich's animosity, I should say, for Hogan, he's probably had it for Hogan for a hot ass minute. He's probably had that built up for a hot ass minute. I want you to think about this. Like, people, peep this. Wings is Rich is a grifter, right? To the fucking max, and he's a dent, and he's a lolcow. And he has to rely on Hogan's work so he can pull off his grift, right? After a while, you feel a certain type of way about that. If you're someone like Rich, if you're someone who you think you're talented, you think you're informative, or you're knowledgeable, or whatever the case may be, and so the fact that you need to rely on somebody else who's not quote unquote in-house, that shit'll eat at you, and that shit'll eat at your fucking ego, right? So when he blew up on Hogan, he's been thinking that. That wasn't just a DSP, reaction. No, Rich has been thinking that. He's been thinking that. So for all the other guys that's in that little squad over there or whatever, I wonder what he's been thinking about some of y'all. And the thing is, though, too, I don't know if Hogan has gone back or not, but I will say this. If Hogan hasn't gone back, right, he'll probably still use Hogan's content to, do his videos or whatever the case may be. But now he has to lean on whoever the next clipper in that, I think, which is Duty's his main guy anyway. You know what I'm saying? So now he ain't got Hogan out the way, then he'll just go ahead and rely on Duty. But then that should make Duty think, well, hey, if he'll do that to Hogan, what will he do to you? The money you've given him doesn't mean anything. The memberships or subs or whatever you've given him don't mean anything. He's going to just turn around and say, oh, well, you remember all those times you gave me super chats or whatever to play your video? He's going to turn all that against you sooner than later. And see, that's a problem for Duty, because Duty was the one who said during that whole side scroller situation with Travis, oh, well, he's never treated me bad. I don't know what the full situation is with Travis, but he's never treated me bad. He's always treated me well. You know what? You know what that sounds like? That sounds like what Panda said. Or that's what Panda was thinking right before DSP fucked her over. So that's all it is. Like I said, I don't know Duty. I don't owe him nothing. He don't owe me nothing. But just something to think about. Food for thought. I'll look into that. No, I don't. I'll look into that. I'll look into that. He's Rich is wrestling in my lolcow division. Extreme lolcow wrestling. You know what? You know what, Race? There's another guy who does like lolcow simulations too. I can't think of what his name is, but I've watched a few of them. I'll check out if you got those videos on YouTube, man. I'll definitely check that out. I'll definitely watch that. That would be fun. I don't know why he thought Hogan would stay quiet. Like I said, I don't know Hogan like that, but Hogan never came across as someone who had bitch in him. So I don't know why he would think that. I'm not saying I'm the best judge of character. Certainly not. But Hogan don't seem like he's someone who walks around. Blame Hogan for not wanting to go on stream and talk to him and shit. But Jesus Christ, he's not going to sit there and let some dude go ahead and talk all that nonsense and definitely not say nothing back. That don't sound right. And whatnot. But you know what I'm saying? You got to watch who. You just have to watch who you hanging out with, or who you associate yourself with. You know what I'm saying? You don't know these people. Yeah, Smokey C. Yeah, that shit's hilarious. That shit is hilarious. Yeah, that shit's funny. Those are some pretty good simulations. You do a show every Thursday night? Rage Quit is the show name. Alright, bet. Alright, bet. I'll definitely check that out. I'll definitely check that out. Speaking of which, man, what's the if someone could please enlighten me, because I really don't know. What's the situation with Hogan was fighting off like a copyright strike or something? Like, what was that about? Like, did he get it cleared up? And what was? And if anybody can kind of inform me on what that was, I'd appreciate it. Because if that's, because I don't want to. I honestly, it's one of the few times that I don't want to blame Rich and say that that was Rich retaliating, but that is something that Rich is known for doing. So. That is something that. Oh, it was Superhound. Yes, it was cleared up. All right, bet. A lot of the tractor channels are disappearing. Yeah, it's that time of the year, though. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, it's that time of the year because when money starts to get, it's really a cycle. To be honest with you, it's just like Amberlynn or Chantel or anybody else. The DSP, the money starts drying up. He starts raging out. He starts to get boring. The tractors start attacking each other and shit. And then all of a sudden, channels start getting taken down. It's just part of the cycle, to be honest with you. Yeah, just in time for tax season. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, privating your videos to be safe is definitely there's no harm in that. There's no harm in that at all. Just don't get into any scruffles with any other detractors and whatnot and start infighting about what to do. Don't do that. Just don't. That's all I'm saying. That's the best advice I'll give you. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Going to other detractors for advice on how you think should handle it is one thing. But please don't get into any infighting or whatever. That's already happened before, and it didn't get anything anywhere, to be honest. But yeah, that doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a cycle. It's definitely a fucking cycle. It happens in the exact same way, and whatever. And that's why, even though I'm not familiar enough with the DWO and what that situation is or whatever, if it works out for them, then I wish them the best. You know what I'm saying? They just need to be careful. That's all I'm saying. Because it's very easy to slip and fall and bump your motherfucking head, and then all of a sudden you start making enemies out of everybody. So, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to fall under that SOK situation. You don't want that. Like I said, if whatever it is that they're doing, if it's all camaraderie or whatever, and it is what it is, then cool. Well, like I said, man, as long as they can keep it on the up and up, it is what it is. Yeah, it really is. It's starting to become like tradition at this point. It really is. It's really starting to become a tradition. And that's what I'm saying, though, too. Like, it goes back to something like Tevin said, like, a really, really long time ago, where, like, if you come into this thing trying to make friends or whatever, like, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. I don't have any problem, nor I preach it, honestly, of being a united front. Like, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because that would help alleviate a lot of the issues and whatnot that this community has. Don't be wrong, I don't have all the answers, and I'm not here for all that. I'm just giving you my opinion. But a bit of, there's nothing wrong with camaraderie, but you got to remember, you don't know these people. You know what I'm saying? You really don't, and whatnot. So like taking this shit a little too seriously can become problematic. I'm missing the context of what this is. I must have missed something. I'm missing the context of that. I might have missed something in the chat. My fault. But yeah. I mean, as long as Snort Hogan though got that strike cleared up, then it is what it is. I just don't know where it stems from. I don't know what caused it, so I was just curious. Yeah, like I said, that's what ProleteR preaches, the point and laugh concept. Here's the thing, though, and it doesn't apply to everybody, because I'm accused of it. So I'll use myself as the example. It is very easy to get mad at this dumb shit. Let me give you an example. So like when I started like doing DSP news and the Snort Report and all this shit or whatever, right? It was all like jokes and fun and shit, you know what I'm saying? I had some of my peoples in the background laughing at that shit and whatever, which you usually heard me yelling at them and whatnot. And it was all fun and games. And then after a while, especially back then, like that 2018, 2019 and shit, like, there was just shit that he was saying and doing that really like started to irk me. It didn't make me hate him. It's just, it really started to irk me and whatnot, and I started to get like far more like aggressive as it pertains to what I was saying or whatnot. And what happens is it makes it less fun. Like anybody can rage on DarkSydePhil, right? But people go to personalities in the DSP community who do commentary. They go for the laughs and shit. It's funny to laugh at his fucking failures and to mock his ass and all that bullshit. I don't have no problem with that, and I endorse it. Get it, because anybody can. I've certainly done it. That's why I don't hold it against anybody if they do. I will say, if you let that shit really like encompass you, it's gonna take you. No one's above that. You know what I mean? So I get so pointing and laugh is really, really easy at first until you start to become fed up, and then you start to get mad. And then once you start getting mad, then people want to see shit happen. You know what I mean? And let me give you an example of that. Look at the Wings community. You had a bunch of people who really felt like they were fucked over or taken advantage of, right? And then when pulling up Wings' dirt, because he has a lot of it, when pulling up his shit, his past mistakes and all that fucked up shit, once that shit hit its peak, then people really were like, we need to really do something. He needs to understand what his place is in the world. And that's what they did. And that's where you're at with all that stuff that happens over there. Well, it's ironic because people in the DSP community asked for the same thing. And don't be wrong, I'm not going to fault you. There was a lot of people who said DSP needs is up and coming. Something should happen to DSP. You know, not him getting hurt or getting killed or anything. But hey, he needs to find out how real this is, and he needs to find out what his place is in the world. So people started to fuck with him. And then that right there ends up spinning off into two things. Oh, well, hey man, that's funny as hell. And then, oh, well, what the fuck you guys do that for? Or if you're gonna do it, don't come around looking for ass pads. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get this shit done and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? And and as it pertains to the latter, I kind of understand that. Like, if you're gonna, I don't condone gay ops or any of that bullshit. But if you're gonna do it, man, you know, keep that to yourself, right? Like, if you go ahead and you do the op, and then you immediately go out there and say, it was me all along, Austin, and whatever, you're killing any potential of any long-term trolling, first off and foremost. And then second, people are just going to look at you as like a loser. Yeah, people will sit there and clap at it and be like, yo, good on you, but what's the long-term effect? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the long-term thinking behind it? And like I said, I don't endorse gay ops. But if you're going to do it, you should think about it in the long term. If not, it's something that DSP will just bank that, oh, another way that they fucked with me, they ruined my life, this, that, and the third, and then nothing else comes out of it. So you're kind of defeating your own purpose, or you're defeating your own point. So that's something that kind of needs to be thought about. And especially given how the economy is now and how some people are getting hit a little harder than others or whatever, there's just less people that have time for it. You know what I mean? That's really what it kind of comes down to. And there's a lot of people that are frustrated. You're frustrated with maybe stuff that's going on with you, maybe stuff that's going on with your family, this, that, and your third. And this goes back to why I was saying anybody can see an aspect of themselves that they don't like in DSP. DSP flaunts that shit. He puts it out there and he's like, ha ha ha, I'm doing this, and it pisses you off, and I don't give a fuck because I'm still making money doing it, and tries to give you the facade that he's fucking successful. And that's one of the things that Josh don't get, because this shows you how tone deaf Josh is, because he doesn't really understand why people don't like DSP and why they keep following him. He just thinks you guys are overly obsessed with a lolcow, go and fuck with another lolcow. Well, other lolcows may not catch your attention, and more importantly, may not keep it. And then it's a time sink. You've put a lot of time in DSP. You've put a lot of time being cool with people, laughing with people about other shit, chatting with people and whatnot. If I haven't been on the farms in a hot ass minute, dude, and when I mean lurking, because I don't have an account, but I really miss a lot of people who used to go over there and post. You know what I mean? I miss proper posting. I miss seeing Closing My Closet posting. There's a lot of dudes in there. Piece of Peace is another one. There's a bunch of people over there that I missed who don't post over there now. And that's unfortunate, because that was a perspective that I'm probably never going to be able to speak to some of those people. So getting their perspective, at least through that median, I found it meant something. You know what I'm saying? There was some value. It helps broaden my horizons, if you will. Because if you're someone who talks about DSP, right, the more input you get in, the better. That's why I don't block you. That's why I don't ban people and all this other silly shit. I don't have time for that, man. Like I said, you don't like me, that's cool. It's whatever. I can take a number, you get in line, and whatnot. And when it's time for you to get your snort bucks, I'll be right there to serve it to you. It is what it is. It is what it is. And yet again, that goes back to the time sink thing. You're right. You've been laughing at Phil for over a decade. He's only progressively gotten worse. He's never going to get better. He's never going to really admit to any of his flaws or his faults or anything like that until he has to, which by then it doesn't mean anything anyway, because he's already fucked up in a number of different ways, which has caused you to move on from it. You kind of wonder what's the point. But here's the thing. None of you guys live this. You guys either go to school, you guys have jobs, you guys have careers, you guys got friends, you guys have women, you guys got all this. People like Rich, all he has is the broken relationships that he wasn't man enough to stand on, fucking cucumber, and his cock, until that porcelain cock breaks. And that's it. He's obsessively about the internet like anything else. Matter of fact, I'm actually listening to a clip from another video and whatnot, multitasking here, and he's sitting here saying, oh, I haven't gone grocery shopping yet, I've been busy. Busy doing what? That you have no groceries in the house. You got kids. I'm not saying that his kids are with him all the time, but you got kids. There should, and as big as you are, there should never be a time where there's never any food in the house. The fuck you mean you don't have time to go grocery shopping? Make that make sense. Agreed. A lot of people don't know what DSP's done. A lot of people don't know what Winx has done. A lot of people don't know what fucking Boogie has done. Like, people get, like, you gotta understand, man, the internet's a fucking huge ass place. So it's very easy to lose track of shit. What kind of behind the scenes stuff? He's definitely sick. Like, he's definitely sick. Like, not mentally, because of course he's mentally fucked up. I understand people want to say it's a behavioral issue. It's not. Like, DSP is fucking out the fucking stratosphere as anybody could be. He's sick though. You can tell by how he handles himself he's sick. Cat is too, because you don't put on all that weight and not have some type of health issue. But Phil's definitely sick. And the question is, it's kind of like a race against the clock. Because if he comes out and tells us that he's sick, excuse me, everybody here is going to turn into Dr. Quinn medical woman and shit, or Dookie Howser, or fucking House, and try to figure out what is he sick of and what kind of medications he's on. And given his mood swings, he's definitely on something. And then he's still drinking. So, and don't tell me that, oh, DSP's not the type that would fucking take medication and drink. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? The DoorDashians, I love that. So, he's definitely sick. For sure. That dude is... The question is just what happens to him. Like I said, I'm still going to hold to what I said in 2019. Either heart attack or brain aneurysm on stream. Especially as mad as he gets, because that dude's a rageaholic. And that's the thing that I think needs to be said. I'm pretty sure it's been said before. But the thing that needs to be said is DSP is an addict in every sense of the word. So it's not just gambling. It's not just lying. It's not just his drinking. It's raging too. He's addicted to that. He gets a release when he fucking goes off like that, because he feels like he's accomplishing something that people think he couldn't do. I know DSP can sit there and rage and blow his fucking top or whatever. What I know he won't do is he won't do that in front of somebody. He won't do that in front of somebody in IRL, and he won't do that in front of somebody like like an interview type situation. He's not going to show that person because he doesn't want the repercussions of it. And that's PTSD from what happened with the Jaha and Mike Watson situation. And to be honest with you, and this is why Jaha's a better man than me, I would have definitely have given Phil one to the stomach. I'd have given him a stiff one to the stomach and drop his ass to his knees, let him throw that shit up, and then I would have put my fucking foot on the back of his head, and I just put my foot on his head into his own vomit to let him remember what this moment is. Because DSP clearly does remember that moment. But see, I'm just giving him a little bit of an incentive. See, Jaha, he's a better man than me because he didn't feel the need to do that. And that's not about being a tough guy. That's about teaching DSP a real lesson. Because since DSP walked away unscathed, except for being humiliated, which is something that apparently all lolcows are okay with, humiliating themselves to get themselves out of bigger problems, he didn't learn anything. He just learned how to twist the lie into something else. No, he hates Japan far more than he hates Argentina, for sure. Japan will always hold that. On the next stream probably. Like, I'll look and see who's done a video on it, like Snort Brunel or somebody. And yeah, we can do that. There's a lot to go over, to be honest with you. I'm trying to figure out what the structure is going to be for the stream on the main channel. It's going to basically be a live Snort report. It's just, I just got to figure out how the structure is going to be. I don't know if I want to, in between each video, I take feedback from the chat or not, or we wait till the very end for a little bit more, as in bringing people into the call. And I might do that if that's the case. And if I can, I'll bring you in, and you got like between 30 and 45 seconds. Shoot. Shoot your shot and whatnot, and then we'll move on. I might let like 3 or 4 people do that. Could be fun. I'm doing alright, man. I gotta be honest with you. Doing alright, to be honest. I gotta say, I've my side questing has been a bit more, it's a reprieve from what I was already doing, to be honest. I need something. How do I explain this? I wanted another outlet that's online, but that is something different than what I'm already doing. You know what I'm saying? To be honest. Because one thing that I've always advocated is DSP is a stepping stone, yeah? And he can and should be a stepping stone for something else. I'm not afraid of failing. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid of failing. I'm more concerned with not trying. And so I'm gonna shoot my shot, and whatever happens, happens. But instead of just outright quitting on it, I want to know what it is that I'm doing wrong and try to fix it. Trust me, I don't do everything right on this DSP shit, which might be the more endearing factor of my personality, is that when you come here, it's not perfect. It's gonna have problems. It's gonna be issues. But at the same time, though, too, it's not a burden that I'm trying to put on you. I'm not doing it. I'm not coughing or snorting into the mic to be an asshole to try to punish you and whatnot, right? It's all just one giant work in progress. So that's my thoughts on that. But other than that, man, I've been great, to be honest. I've been great. Family's doing good and shit. Milk and Cookies is doing great. It's just another day in the life. You know what I'm saying? I wish well on everybody else as well. Yeah, Viz can too. He was definitely a bigger man to walk away from that, to be honest. Because truth be told, like, inflicting violence or on DSP wouldn't do anything. That's the real takeaway. Like, it's kind of like the user wrestling analogy. It's like the Shawn Michaels thing. Like, Shawn Michaels is an asshole, but he was man enough to take the beating. DSP is not even man enough to do that. The first thing that comes to mind is an excuse. And that's his first defense and offense to everything. He can't just sit there and accept the fact that you did something wrong, or you don't know what you're doing, or whatever the case may be. That's the easiest thing in the world. It's the easiest thing in the world. And if people think less of you, then they're going to probably think less of you anyway. You know what I mean? So, and that's what you see with Rich. He didn't want to sit there and get accused of anything because he didn't want to seem like he was doing something wrong. Being a fucking idiot. Like, and keep in mind, this was all because people don't like him. People have been not liked Rich. Like, I'm gonna save that because I'm working on something. I'm gonna save that. But there's a lot of people who don't like Rich and whatnot, and they just don't deal with him. They don't have. You don't have to. Let me put it to you this way. Because working in an office setting, I know this because I've seen it. No one will ever tell you what they really think about you. Just pure and simple. Never to your face. And never to people who they know that they're closely associated with you. They won't do it. And anytime that and if you try to change it, their opinion, if you will, they'll only hate you more. And there may not even be a reason why they hate you. There may not even be a good reason why they don't like you, or whatever the case may be. I don't change people's opinions about me. You don't like me, you don't like me. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I lived before you, despite whatever your age may be, and I'll live fine after you. It's just that. I'm not one of these people that need people like me to go on living. That's just not something. That's just not how that works. That's not how that works. But DSP needs that. He needs people to acknowledge his existence. He wants to be liked, but DSP doesn't know who he really is as a person. This is the reason why the whole gay argument is Phil a closet homosexual, I should say. That's the reason why that argument still persists to this day. Because he doesn't know who he is. So he doesn't know really what he wants to present to you. So that's why he keeps bitching and complaining about I am successful because I'm still here. That's the bare fucking minimum. I'm still here too, Phil. And I've had plenty of people who didn't like me and my content. And guess what? I'm still here. Does that make me successful? No. It just means that I'm still here. That's all it means. Oh, well, people still give me money because they like the content. You guilt trip them into it. They don't like the content because of its merit. They support the content because you have some bitch-ass sob story. It's become you become a charity case. You become what you hate the most. Because Phil always hated the idea that people just mindlessly threw money at bigger content creators and that's why they got rich. Well, theoretically, that's what happened to you. And you don't want but you don't want to acknowledge it that way. Because you can easily be like, well, look at what these people did to me. He always has an excuse. He can't look at the picture for what it is. What's up, Chiyo? He can never look at the picture for see it for what it is. Which is unfortunate. So, that fake tough guy act online was never real anyway. That's why it was so easy to laugh at him. You know what? Actually, now that you brought that up, there's a guy who I watch called Destroy. He does like the pickup football games and shit. Quarterbacks versus the defensive ends or defensive backs. And they had I can't remember what city they were in, but they had a guy who came out there, tatted up and everything, and he just had an attitude the whole time. And he got pressed by one of those guys out there and just broke down crying. And that shit was the most pathetic thing I'd seen. I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, you can't do that. You can't do that tough guy shit, then get pushed back, and then cry. You can't. No one will ever respect you if you do something like that. And yet, that's what happened to Rich. He let fucking Ethan Ralph come in, push his shit in, and smiled while it happened. So there you go. And see, that's another thing too. I'm glad you pointed that out. Tevin's still here too, and he got Tevin deplatformed. He got him deplatformed off Twitch, and he probably tried to get him deplatformed off YouTube. So what, you know what I'm saying? So what are you gonna say then? And the thing is Phil's really gonna have to answer that too. Like, that's one of the major things in the documentary I wanted to be answered. I wanted him to, I was hoping that he would actually confess and say, yeah, I orchestrated the situation that got Tevin kicked off. Never did though. Straight coward. And it don't matter because everybody thinks he did it anyway. Because he more than likely did. He was the only one who had the incentive of doing it. He got him and he got those other two guys kicked off the, they call me TXT and Bill Purnell. He was the only one who had motive to kick those guys off. So, I don't know. Yeah, actually, I had a pretty good New Year, actually. Yeah, it's been alright so far, I gotta say. Yeah, it's been alright. It's been alright. I will say this, if I have one complaint and whatnot, I was trying to get my hands on a bottle of that fucking Black Steel, the Dr. Disrespect shit, and he's had 3 batches come out so far. I have a bottle from the first batch and the second batch. I haven't opened them yet. But I've been trying to get this one for the 3rd batch, and that shit has eluded me at every stop. That shit's starting to get fucking annoying. Holy shit. And that shit, the first batch is expensive too. Like, people are really willing to pay, you know what I'm saying? People are willing to pay like $500 a bottle for it. I didn't pay that, but people are willing to pay that for it. Fucking A. Just let me get this 3rd batch already. God damn it. Don't worry about it, I'm late too. Don't worry about it, I'm late too. Trust me. Yeah, supposedly Destroyed got signed. And whatnot. I have to check out the video and shit. Like I said, he's a good kicker, and he is, I think he has decent hands, so he's gonna make a decent wide receiver. Do I think Jim will ever cover? I don't know. I don't know. That's actually a fair question. I hope so. I'd like to see another stream out of him if he's healthy enough to do it. I don't know. No, it would. You're absolutely right. It wouldn't be documented anywhere. Not at all. Not at all. And that's what makes DSP say. Whoa, wait, what? Oh, Medicare is streaming on Valentine's Day. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, son. Oh, that's good shit. Wait a second. On Valentine's Day? That's the 14th. Okay, never mind. I'm reading 2 different things. Sorry. So I hope Medicare's doing alright. Okay, this is February 2nd? Alright, bet! Definitely gonna watch that shit. I don't know if he's gonna bring up DSP. He should. DSP's been a hot topic for a lot of people. I'm hoping he covers the Ralph shit and he covers the Ricada shit. I really want him to have a good laugh over that shit. For sure, for sure. That's wild. That's fucking wild. And the thing is, though, too, right? And for all of my criticisms, because I have plenty, obviously, I have to say, if you look at the detractor community as a whole, it's not only is it larger than it's ever been, but I think you have a level of diversity, and that took a number of years to build to where we're at now, yeah. And like I said, the biggest thing that I could tell you, and you can ask Memology the last time I spoke to him, or tell ProleteR, is you just hope that. Actually, I'll speak for myself. I hope that those who come after us, or after me anyway, or my time, or my rookie season, or whatever, I just hope they just don't make the mistakes that I made. Because I made a lot of dumb mistakes early on, and whatnot. And, you know, I hope that they just won't make those mistakes. Like any parent, right? You don't want your children to make the same type of mistakes that you did. They're going to make their own mistakes, but you just hope that they avoid the shit that's already out there. So, like I said, I don't know too much about this DWO thing, but hopefully I don't make the mistakes that SOK did. And the thing is, it's really easy to fall down that hole. Like, Fred didn't just wake up and do what he did. That was he progressed that way. He progressively got that way. You know what I'm saying? And the more power that he amassed, or influence, if you will, if you don't want to call it power, but the more influence he amassed, the more paranoid he got. The more attention that he was getting, the more paranoid he got. And that happens to a lot of people. And that leads to, let's make a quick segue, over there to Girl World. The shit over there is crazy, dude. Over there in Hater Nation Girl World, we're going after people's kids. We're making merch on other people. We're doing all kinds of silly shit. Boy, shit is fucked up over there. You're supposed to be over there laughing at two death fats that are eating themselves to death. Why the fuck are we talking about suing each other? Why are we going after people's children, doxing them? Why are we making fun of dead husbands and shit and all kind? Oh my god, it's so fucked up over there, bro. But it's entertaining. I can't look away. I can't look away. That shit is. Oh my god, there's so much fuckboy shit going on over there. I'm gonna have to start doing a segment on Girl World, man. I have to. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Wild over there, man. Dude, it's so fucking crazy. No, like think about the merch that people have made periodically on DSP, right? No, they are doing AI generated merch, shirts, hats, mugs, bags, you name it, they got it, and they're killing it. They are making money over there and whatnot. And now, instead of doing that on Chantel and Amber, though, they're doing it about each other. They're literally going at each other's throats, and it's wild. And then there's a segment of Girl World that's getting worried that Michael B. Petty might come back into the mix. That dude has been out the game for like 3 years and whatnot. But the fear that some of these people have that Michael might come back is fascinating. I don't know if Tevin still keeps up with Girl World, but if he does, definitely ask him to check that shit out and whatnot. I'd like to catch his opinion on it, but that shit is silly. It is so silly. It's so silly. Yeah, Girl World's just nuts. It's fast. I can't stop watching though. There's one chick, I just saw it the other day. You remember El Crimson King when he did the DSP puppet? There's a chick over there in Girl World who does a puppet of Chantel, and that shit is hilarious. And it doesn't get the views that it should, and it makes me mad. Here, fuck. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to look for it. I'll look for it, and we'll either talk about it on next stream or I'll make a community post or some shit. But it is the funniest shit ever. I was dying. They have all of her mannerisms and everything, and it's a puppet. It's a puppet, but this shit is so. Yes, it's Darkside Becky. Yeah, that shit is hilarious. Let me put that on the screen. Oh yeah, that's right. I can make this automated and they'll do it for me. Yeah, son. Yeah, I think it's Darkside Becky. That shit is funny. Oh, that shit is so fucking funny. It is hilarious. I mean, that shit is so stupid. It's so stupid funny. Holy shit. That shit is fantastic. It is so fantastic because they sync. It's just like with El Crimson King. They synced it up to one of Chantel's videos, but they have all the mannerisms of everything she does in it. It's so funny. Oh my god, like that pie video that just recently came out, that had me dying. That shit had me dying. That shit had me dying. Oh my Christ, that shit was hilarious. Oh fucking heck. That shit was so good. That shit was so good. Yeah, that pie video. And the thing is, right, with the pie video, and let me paint the picture. Chantel decided to make a homemade pie in this huge ass casserole dish. And she polished off like half of it, right? When she started the video, only a small portion of it was gone. But she ended up eating like half of this dish. And she eventually ate all of it. We know that. Well, in the in the Dark Side Becky video, Becky is progressively eating it, but the way she does it, she's purposely dropping some on her clothes and like on the floor and off to the side. And it lines up with how Chantel eats, because she's a disgusting, messy eater, right? It's disgusting. And that shit is, oh my god, it's just stupid funny. It's so stupid funny. Oh my Christ. Please, 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 if you check that shit out. That shit is fucking hilarious. You know what? Hold on. Let me go side questing for just a second. Let me go side questing for just a second. Let's see if I can find this for you. Oh, this shit is so funny. Oh, here, give me a second. Give me a second. I have to, that's how much love and respect I have for this video. Okay, so I made sure I'm subbed. Let's see here. Foodie Beauty forgives Salah. No. Oh yeah, that's right. She does, or they do the fucking Cyrax videos too. There's the spaghetti mate. Nah, let me give you this one. Let this be your foray into the shit and whatnot. This shit is hilarious. This shit had me fucking dying. Oh my Christ. And I'll drop the link. I'll drop the link in here for you guys. Oh, that shit had me dying. It's so fucking funny. And like I said, even if you're not into, you know, Girl World or Foodie Beauty or whatever, that's perfectly okay. All I ask is if you just give this video a few minutes. Okay. It should be in the chat. A direct link to the video itself. That shit is hilarious. If that was El Crimson King, I wouldn't even be mad. That shit is funny. That shit is stupid fucking funny. Oh my Christ, that shit's funny. Yeah. She did. She when she was eating the pie, right? She was almost halfway through it. No, she was like a quarter of a way through it. And she puts the spoon down. She looks up at the camera, and you just see her gigantic hoof get ready to dig into the pie. And then she stopped herself and brought it back. And it was like, it's like a baby eating baby food or something, or like interacting with their food with their hands. It was just like that. That shit had me dying. That shit had me dying. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so good. Like, that channel is so fucking funny. Like I said, if you get a chance, please check that video out and whatnot. That shit is so fucking hilarious. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm good. How you doing? How's it going, Almighty? Holy shit. That shit is funny. Like, that whole... Oh, my God. Like I said, check the video out if you like it. You know what I'm saying? Peruse through her channel or their channel. I don't know if it's a he or she. Peruse through the channel. See if you like it and whatnot. Let me make sure that I'm actually subscribed on this channel to them. I am. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, check it out. See what you think. That shit is stupid funny. This shit is stupid funny. Holy fuck. It is so fucking hilarious. Nah, there's no fixing Chantel. Like, not now. Like, she's damn near bedbound. She has uncontrollable diabetes. I'm trying to be serious here for a minute. She's all fucked up. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. She, like, you know, like most of the people over there, they're thinking this is the season finale for her. It's a wrap. Or not even season finale. It's like the series. Like the series is about to end with that. Like, it's done. It's done. It is fucking done. She put on 13 pounds in a week. How? 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 It don't matter. Just how. And initially when who was it? I was watching, I think, French Fry Girl, and yeah, I think it was French Fry Girl. But French Fry Girl has a bunch of people in their chat, right? Well, somebody in their chat I'm actually like cool with, and whatever. So they kind of keep me posted on some of the silly shit that goes on over there. And they were like, yeah, she just gained 13 pounds and shit. And I was like, no, she didn't. And they were like, no, I'm dead ass serious. I was like, huh? How the fuck do you devour 13 pounds worth of food? And I was like, it has to be water weight or some shit. And they're like, nah, she got 13 pounds. I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, fucking A, bro, that's crazy. That's a ridiculous amount of weight. And then, man, I can do a stream on her, dude. She has a video where she did like a 3,000 step walk or whatever, and she has these she has these skinny legs, right? She doesn't have those huge bloated Amber Lynn legs. She has these skinny ass little legs, but she's this giant ass wheelbarrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's literally shaped like a wheelbarrow. So walk like up a slope or even down a slope, especially when she has to walk down a slope, she has to be very, very careful because she may tip over. Like, I was literally thinking in my head, this is Humpty Dumpty. It's not funny. It's not funny, but this is Humpty Dumpty. And whatnot. It's so crazy to watch. It's so fucking bizarre. It's so bizarre to watch. It really is. Holy shit. It's so kid. She is super top heavy. She is super top heavy. And like it's all a point and laugh type situation, right? But then she has the nerve to have the ego even to say, oh, I'm still one of the more prettier people on YouTube or whatever, and women still wish to be me and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, huh? Like, how? Like, and the whole time she was talking, I was thinking, how much weight can your legs really support? Because, like, when you really, this is gonna sound fucked up, but when you think about it, when I was watching her walk, I was like, it's like an egg on stilts, and I'm sitting here betting with myself that the stilts are gonna break. So I'm just trying to bet on which one's gonna break first. Oh my god, I'm evil. No, she can't bend her knees. No, she can't. She can't. I mean, we saw that though when she was in Thailand though, when she had to get on the boat, and she oh my god, I'm gonna go to hell for this. That's right, I got a throne there waiting for me anyway. Okay, so they were in Thailand, right? And they were getting into one of the boats for the trip, for the tour, right? And she okay, hold together. Okay. She okay, hold together. She has to step down to get into this boat, right? Okay, she has to step down to get into this boat, and the problem is she, because she can't bend her legs, and there was nobody actually in the boat to help her. Salah is basically trying to hold her upper body up so she can get into the damn boat. and she kind of slipped because she couldn't bend her legs. And then in another boat ride, because of how heavy she was literally fucking with the stability of the boat. Like the guys on the boat had to get to one side to try to balance her out. Like, that right there really put it into perspective. That this woman is literally weighs as much as a family. You think a husband, a wife, and maybe like 1 or 2 small kids. She literally makes up the weight of a fucking family. That shit was wild to me. And then every time she walks, you can hear the heavy breathing. You can see her face get flushed. It's you can't sit there and tell me that shit's healthy. But then you're doing a mukbang for 3 days in a row. It's so crazy. It's fucking bizarre. It's so fucking bizarre. It's so bizarre. Oh my god, it's so fucking bizarre. It really is. Big ups. Oh my god, it's so fucking bizarre. Yeah, we're talking about foodie beauty a little bit. It is so fucking bizarre. Holy shit. And then, and this will be my last takeaway on this. They were doing the 3,000 step walk, right? And I think that's what the video was. And she had to walk through these two bars, right? They're like Olympic bars or what? Not necessarily bars, like a horseshoe type thing. They're just 2 bars. They're 2 metal bars that you would walk on, like if you had it in this little park. and she had to squeeze her way into the bars, and you could see her literally shifting her body back and forth as she's walking in between these bars, and then she kind of had to pry herself out of it at the end. And the first thing I was thinking to myself was like, Salah, why didn't you use some Crisco oil or something on the bars before she walked into it, and it would look more natural? But I didn't understand the sway that she has when she walks. Oh my god, it was so. Oh my god, it was so brutal. It was so brutal. I'm sitting here texting this chick back about it as I'm fucking looking at this dumb shit, and I'm like, holy fuck, man. Holy fuck, man. That shit was dumb. It was dumb. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. I will actually progressively try to see if I can find this clip. That shit was so stupid. Let's see here. Let's see here. I will see if I can try to find this clip. Let's see. Zachary Michael, Karina Kaboom. Let's see here. Addressing your questions, 2,000, losing 200 pounds. Okay, hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, first things first. Oh my god. Okay, first things first. I will pull this video up for you guys if you really want me to. If you really want me to, I will pull this video up. Oh my Christ. Oh, I'm going to hell for this. Oh, I'm going to hell for this. Okay. Okay, fuck it. Fuck it. No guts, no glory. Let's see here. Give me just a second. Okay, give me just a second. Holy shit. Fucking A. Am I really gonna do that? Am I not my deaf fat's keeper? Yes, I am. Okay. All right. Okay. 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 How do we do this? Give me just a second. Do I want to put some filters on this and be fun? Nah, I don't want to do that. Okay. 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 Shit. Okay, so you can still hear me. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can hear her, and that's really not necessary. Okay, first, let me give you just a comparison of exactly what this chick looks like. Like how short she is. Take that in, audience. Take that in, chat. Take that in. That if you want to know exactly how tall she is, she's like 4'11" or some shit and whatnot. Look at this, and then look at the children looking at the oddest, looking at this shit like, yo, is that a gnome? Is that a Oompa Loompa? Like, that shit is terrible. Oh my god, I feel so bad. I don't feel bad. Sorry, but I'm not sorry. The scaling though, and you see how round she is? Like, she's like a wheelbarrow, and she got these little stilt like legs. And it's like, it looks weird. Like, it's unfortunate. And she's only like 40. And she, oh yeah, Ann here. Oh, what a band. Yeah, she looked real happy. She looked real happy. If those kids were chocolate, and if that fucking train, if this little train thing here was fucking graham crackers and marshmallows, those kids would be fucked royally. That's what that is. That's what what they look like. They look like little chocolate rabbits to her or some shit, just waiting to be fucking unwrapped and shit. Like, yeah, like the literal definition of fucking Willy Wonka. Look at that shit. Oh, that's it's so bad. It's so rough. Here, I'll keep playing it and shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. You are there. Here. Okay. Now, remember how I was telling you how she was having a hard time, kind of like how she has to walk up and down like slopes and shit? Here. I need to check this shit out. That's not normal. And then look at that. Look at it. Look at it! You shouldn't... No! Chat, no! You shouldn't be able to struggle like that! That shouldn't happen! Oh my god. Yeah, right back there. You shouldn't be struggling like that. You're not. And I know it's supposed to be all point and laugh and everything, chat, but you shouldn't be struggling like that. No! Oh my god, no. Look at it. It's like it's a small mountain or something. No. You shouldn't have to do that. Okay, hold up. So, let me see if I can find these bars. That's her crossing the bridge. That's the stray cats. Oh, this might be... Yes! If I'm gonna earn my way into hell, if I'm gonna earn my throne in hell, we're gonna do it right here, right now. Okay, here we go. Chat, before we go into this, I want to pray for all of you. There is no reason for all of you to follow me into hell. Okay? I'm sure you guys are all good people. You're well adjusted. You are not mentally ill idiots like myself. So I want you guys to pray briefly. Okay? If we can get some prayer hands in chat, because you guys are all decent people. And after I see like 5 or 10 of them, then we'll get started. Because I don't want to see any of you guys, we don't all have to march into hell. We don't have to do that. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You guys have been very good people. You've been very kind to me and whatnot. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate your criticisms and all that. I appreciate all of that. But holy shit. We're starting to walk into the danger zone. He who enters here, and so on and so forth. I just want you guys to make sure. Excuse me. Some kind of gym. They're not candy bars. Oh god. Oh no. Oh. Reach! There you go. Oh shit! It's like a Twinkie! Okay. 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 All right, chat, one more time. Oh, tight squeeze. There you go. There you go. Keep waddling so you can keep your momentum. There you go. And then bust out. Ah! Oh. Oh. Oh, God. Oh. 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 Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel the need to say this. If you feel the need, after that situation, to unsubscribe, I will not hold it against you. Okay? What you heard was visceral. It was terrible. Who the fuck am I to sit there and listen to a woman who laughs at the deaths of other women's mothers, who has the nerve to call CPS on other people and whatnot merely because they make videos on her, who has the nerve to sit there and eat 5,000-6,000 calories in one sitting and have the nerve to call other people cunts and whatnot, or see you next Tuesdays and whatever, because they wish they were her, despite the fact that she's cheated on every man that she's ever been with, and most of them cheated on her. Just take that home in. That's just, I'm sorry. I need one more time. One more time. For all time's sakes. For all time's sake. Just one more. Just one more little waddle. Just one more. It's like a drug. It's like just one more waddle. Just one more, chat. Just one more. I'm not addicted. I can stop whenever I want. I can stop whenever I want. Oh, look at the discomfort. Oh. There you go. Yeah, right there. Yeah, get it out. Oh. Oh boy, that oh, that takes me to a happy place. Oh, oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. That was oh, that was good. Oh. Yeah, those bars didn't stand a chance. They really didn't. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh. Well, yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, truth be told, I'm sure, Ann, you've seen this, but like some of those day forays or adventures they used to have, she went through way too much water. She had to sit down like every 7 minutes and shit. You're not gonna get nowhere. That's why people think that Salah might have been cheating on her when they were in Thailand, because after a few days and after she started developing the blisters in between them thighs and whatnot, she wasn't able to go nowhere. And there, if I remember correctly, there was like a 7-Eleven around the corner. So Salah was like, yeah, I'll run the 7-Eleven for you, and then he'd be gone for like 30 minutes. And, and then he'd bring her back whatever little sandwiches or whatever the case may be. Holy shit. Oh my God, so much. You don't know. You don't know the wonders that I have to show y'all. You don't know. You do not know what I've seen and whatnot. Like, Girl World has been an incredibly fruitful place when it comes to silly shit. You don't know. You don't know. For some of you, right, let me do this real fast, because I kind of want you to see happen. let's see here. I don't know how loud this is going to be, though. I kind of want to show you the pot pie thing, but I want you to watch it. I want you to watch it. Oh, fuck, I want you to watch it. Nah, I'm going to hold back on it. I want you to watch it. And then we'll go over it later. But I really want you to watch it. It's hilarious. Different world over there. It really is. It's just a different world. Get that there. Alright. Alright, let's take a look at chat real fast. It's a different world over there, man. Like, there is literally no shame over there in girl world, bruh. It's no shame over there. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. The few people that I've spoken to over there on like people's live streams, they don't know who I was, so it is what it was. But I knew who some of they were because I've seen them comment on other videos or whatever. So super funny shit, and they were super cool people. But holy shit, there's a lot of fuckboy shit that goes on over there. Oh my god. Oh my god. I gotta tell you, that shit was terrible. I Sunspot. Oh my god. Oh yeah, absolutely. Her giving up what was it, BBJ? Yeah, she gave his ass up and whatnot, which is unfortunate. Which is incredibly unfortunate. But here's the thing. That right there is what's gonna keep the crown on FFG or French Fry Girl. That's what's gonna keep that on her. That's what's gonna keep the crown on her head, by far. She outsmarted the fuck out of Chantel. She outsmarted the shit out of her, and Chantel has never been able to live that down. That's why you see those fucking community posts where her ranting and raving, and then like 30 minutes later they get deleted. And I will say this: I am really glad that Josh, a few years ago, really told them on the farms. He really told the people in Girl World and Amberlynn and Chantel's communities to step their archiving shit up. And I think he made a whole tutorial for them too, because so much of this could have been lost. So much of this shit could have been lost. Yeah, she's definitely looked like she's bedbound, and that she's doing that podcast now. She doesn't have her face up there anymore. She has like a, she has like a still. Or whatever. And some people think whatever it is she has might be STD related, on top of the fact that, her sciatica or whatever. If that's what she has, of course. I couldn't tell you. Holy shit. So good. So good. Oh my god. Yeah, I agree. Despite Chantel's situation, she still does more than DarkSydePhil does. That is truly sad. So how is it nearly as much money as she doesn't make nearly as much money as French Fry Girl, but she definitely doesn't make anything close to what Amber makes. She still can go to she can still go to Thailand, she can still go back to Canada, she can still do all this traveling, even if she has to buy 2 seats, and I'm not joking about that. Even if she has to buy 2 seats, she can still travel. Afford to travel, but DSP can't go to San Francisco. He can't fly back home. He can't go to Texas. He can't go to Cabo San Lucas down in Mexico. You can't even go. Whatever. Or just go to the coast in general. Can't afford to do any of that. Fuck out of here. Oh. Yeah, the thing is though, right, about the whole thing with Salah and Chantel, is it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Salah still has his freedom. What's she gonna do? Chase him out the house? You know what I mean? What's she gonna do? Blow up his phone and shit and whatnot? And yeah, you could say, and this would be fair to say, well, she has control of the purse strings, but let's be honest. Salah's been siphoning. He probably has his little allowance or his stipend or whatever. So if he wants to leave the house for an hour or a day, he still can. He just has to hear the bitching when he gets back. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I didn't even get the chance to go over that. I'll do that another time. But yeah, the text messages he has with Kai Bella. Oh my god. Oh, you are my sins to you, and you will call me master and like it. I was like, whoa. And then he was talking about doing the shit with the Bible and all that shit. And he's like, oh, what he would do to Western women. And I was like, stop this. Stop this. Oh, stop this. Oh my god. Yeah, but the Salah leaks are a trip. I promise you. It's such a wild ass ride. Oh my god. And I gotta tell you, his scat porn or his scat addiction is easily the equivalent to DSP's, if not better. It's something. I gotta tell you. And to think that, just imagine you thinking so little of yourself that you had to run back to Kuwait for that. Now let me be honest. She's correct that if she stayed in Canada, she was just going to eat herself to death and that was it. But she's going to do the exact same thing in Kuwait, which leads to another interesting thing I want to bring up. And this is going to be harsh, but I don't know how to sugarcoat shit. Sorry, but I'm not sorry. If she dies on Salah, what the hell are they going to do with her body? Because she has to clearly get shipped back to Canada. But her family looks like they were glad to be rid of her. No one picked her up from the airport. No one dropped her off and whatnot. Matter of fact, before she left Canada the last time, her family was in Florida. So even in Canada, she really don't have nobody but Pete's. And then the backstory on how she fucked over Pete's and all that bullshit, that shit's just a whole nother. That's just a whole nother shit, man. That's just a whole nother thing. I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know what to tell you. Yes, I did catch the weed story rant. I did. And the thing is, I don't blame Frenchie for that. Because Chantel basically told where the location was. Of course Frenchie was going to go out there and see what's what. But the fucked up part about it is, Chantel was trying to get that lady in there fired. And not because Frenchie may or may not have spoken to her. It was because she had a beef with her from high school. And that's why she justified trying to get her fired. She just tried to blame that on Frenchie and make it look like it was her fault. Holy shit. Oh my god. So good. So good. So good. Oh my god, there's just so much nonsense. Oh no, and that's another thing too. Actually, you just brought this up with Natter. I honestly think while Foodie was in Canada, she tried to find where French Fry Girl lived. I honestly believe that's what she was doing. And she was also stalking Natter and Dee Dee while she was out there. That's why her first priority was to get her car back. So messed up. Just so fucked up. Oh my god. Yeah, they're gonna have to definitely find someone to move the body. Holy shit. Yeah, he said he wanted her. He said he wanted her holy white ass. Oh my god. What's up, Ice? Holy shit. Yo, fucking Salah was on that bullshit, bruh. And the thing is coming off of that that Thailand trip, you know Salah was frustrated. Salah over, despite the whole scat shit and how he views women and all that other stuff, the rape fantasies and everything else, is he was basically telling Kai Bella, hey, what's your salary look like? What's your money like? Which completely and utterly exposes that his relationship with Chantel is clearly financial and essentially for internet clout. And Chantel knows that. So this is how desperate you are to hold on to this guy? But, excuse me, coming off of the Natter situation all those years ago, or a few years ago, it makes sense. It makes sense. Woo, shit. So crazy, guys. So crazy. Like I said, Girl World has been fruitful. I gotta tell you, the infighting over there is ridiculous, though. The infighting over there is just—it's so fucking unnecessary. It's not that serious. It's just like over here in the DSP community. To be honest with you, there's plenty of money and opportunities for everybody. No one needs to, no one needs, well, not even but no one needs to gatekeep anybody. No one needs to block anybody off. No one needs to do any of that. There's plenty of out here for anybody. And for everybody, really. You know? Fucking A. My take on... Oh, that fucking psychopath schizo, that fucking Cobra, thinks he's gonna make something out of? Nah. I saw that fight that she had with that lampshade. Hell no. Hell no. And I saw her little GoFundMe for what, $5,000 or whatever the case may be? Nuh-uh. Kick that bitch to the curb, my guy. Kick that bitch to the curb. And the thing is she's not going to let him hit. Like, you know, he's not going to get in between them walls. So, and he probably don't want to. So, like, yeah, no. When you're that methed out of your fucking mind and you can manipulate Cobra, that says a lot. That says a lot. And the trolls see it for what it is. So that's why the trolls are on her. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you want your cow to produce quality milk, you got to make sure that they do not ingest anything that will taint the environment or the ecosystem. And that's what his trolls are doing, to be honest. But that chick is a nut. That I see all kinds of problems with that. Acid face. Oh, you're talking about what, Mr. Head of the Table over there? And whatnot, and his whole fucking I don't even know what to say. It's on that Derek level shit. Right? Same guy, right? Okay, yeah, that's on that Derek level shit. It's on that Derek level shit. It's just fucking great. It is what it is. I don't. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Hey, but then again, and actually touching a kid. Yeah, I read that. But see, and yet again, this goes back to the thing I try to tell people about Cobra. That dude is not harmless, man. If Cobra could get, let's say, that crazy one he's talking to now, if he was able to get her to his apartment, and if he got her drunk on, not the mead, unless he spikes it with something, if he got her drunk enough, he would take advantage of her. And if not worse. Don't say that he doesn't have that in him, because of course he does. Of course he does. Just like in the wild, right? Because, you know, if you watch National Geographic and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? You got animals out there that fucking are necrophiliacs and shit. If they have to get their frustration off, or they'll fucking... That type of bait... It's not funny. No one is above anything. No one is above anything. And I've had arguments with people in the Cobra community over that shit. So, that's all I'm saying. And yeah, an acid face and him being in that bullshit, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that there's fucking sexual predators over there or whatever the fuck. I'm not surprised at all. He wants a 12-year-old. Whoa, what? Yikes. Yikes. Well, that's right around I don't know, to be honest with you. But that's probably close to the age where Derek was looking at some of those playlists he had on YouTube, so I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. He might actually be. He may very well be worse than Derek. But then again, but I'll say this, somebody else that's in that little group over there is probably worse than that. There's always someone worse. There's always someone worse. So. But yeah. And the more that shit comes out, the scarier it gets. Well, it's disturbing, I should say, more than scary. So, yeah. I'm not surprised by any of that. And that's the thing. Because, excuse me, we were speaking earlier about how point and laugh. Some of this shit's starting to get harder and harder to laugh at, man. Because as time goes on and as you really get engrossed in this whole shit, you start to find out and see shit about some of these people that you didn't expect. When they were just being dense and throwing money mindlessly at DSP, that's one thing. But then when you find out some of the shit that they're into, it's like, Jesus Christ. It's like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's very much a bird of a feather type thing, to be honest. You're absolutely fucking right. You are absolutely right. Jesus Christ. And why would, and with that being said, Dwight, why would DSP question it? Why would he question where the money comes from? His needs come before everybody else anyway. So I'm not surprised by that at all. I am not surprised by that whatsoever. Which just goes to show how sick he is. Because when you think about the FGC thing, right? I think I talked about this on last stream. And hopefully this stream went a little bit better than the last one. Because like I said, if I can get these two programs, and if I can get that shit to work, we might be good. Actually, hold on just a second. Oh, that's why. That's funny. Okay. That's kind of hilarious. Okay, so that script works. Good shit. I had to tweak it a little bit, and I thought I actually fucked it up and did it wrong. Imagine my shock. Imagine my shock. I was actually able to do something right about that. But yeah, but think about DSP though, and this is one of the things I really wanted to, I hope was going to be emphasized in that documentary, is DSP knew about the shit with the Mr. Wizard stuff, right? And yet he was still trying to ingratiate himself into that community. He's still trying to do it now, even though he's accused people within the FGC of covering up for him, for Mr. Wizard. So why would you want to go back? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that? So, you know, it's hypocrisy in the highest sense of the word. I don't even think that bothers him though, to be honest. I don't think that bothers him whatsoever. I don't think that bothers him whatsoever. And yet again, you know, DSP wants to talk, and he lacks that in spades. You know what I'm saying? I mean, keep in mind though too, he don't know these people. He don't care to know these people. You know, he'll say his what up to this person, how are you doing this person, this, that, and the third. But he doesn't give a shit about these people. They're a means to an end. Absolute means to an end. But I will say though, if I take anything else away from this stream, and like I said, big ups to Shinko, because like I said, I got a chance to watch. While I was listening to his stream, and while I was kind of talking to y'all, it's good that most of these people are starting to see it. Rich has been a fucking problem. He's been a problem for a minute. And just because you guys think he's a bigger YouTuber or whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything at all. His main channel is fucking done. You know what I'm saying? Even though he has 1 million subs on it. Fucking, what's his name? Quantum sat there and fucking tanked the shit out of that, and it hasn't recovered. So, and he didn't have nearly the type of retention that like Ackman had or something. So, of course, Rich, that's why Rich spends all his time streaming. Videos just aren't profitable. And then, now that I think about it, if the detractors are considered weirdos and all this strange shit, didn't Rich just stream last night? He literally just streamed DSP stuff last night, didn't he? Matter of fact, give me a second, I can look. Let's see here. Yeah, he streamed last night. It says right here, Wings Redemption is a man plus Phil. Matter of fact, where's that stream at where Rich was calling all those detractors out? And then he became a bitch and changed the title of it. Where is that shit? Something about addressing my audience or some shit? What's it called? My subscribers give me criticism. That was 10 days ago. That's not the original title. That wasn't the original title at all. It was like DSP. It was like DSP Detractors. Give me a second. I can probably find it. Probably easier if I just went to Detractor Twitter for this, honestly. Let's see here. Yeah, here it goes. Got it right here. ReviewTechUSA versus DSP Dent tractors. Fucking coward. Fucking coward. Stand behind what you say. Like I said, if you meant it, you know what I'm saying, then fucking stand behind it. It's been a long time since that dude has reviewed tech, though. And even then, even back then, he took criticism for messing up certain shit, and I don't want to say he was outright wrong all the time, but he was wrong most of the time. And especially when it came to when the PS4 came out, he made some claims about that wasn't true and whatnot, made him look like a fucking idiot. And he's been a lol cow for a long ass time, man. He's been one for a long ass time. Yeah, exactly. Say it with your motherfucking chest. But like I said, it don't even matter because he dodging people. So, you know what I'm saying? He fixated on Hogan and he's fixated on that girl. Or not girl, I'm sorry. But on that woman. And whatever. And no one... And does anybody... I won't say no one because I don't know. But does anybody in their camp not have a problem with that shit? That's a problem. It's a big problem. You know what I'm saying? So... But it is what it is. Like I said, you gotta be careful because there's a thing. Isn't there a thing going around about guilt by association? No one wants to be caught up in that, right? No one wants to be caught being on the same side as someone who sits there and stalks women, right? We're not that's not something that we're gonna have a problem with, is it? I hope not, because that's the shit that we shit on DSP for, and some of his dents, mainly his dents. We shit on them for that. And you got people that are in bed with that, with Rich. Just like the concept of Rich giving DSP money. That makes him a dent. Hands down. There is no joking about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially when he did it to ingratiate himself. It wasn't a troll, right? He did it on purpose. He did it because he wanted something out of him. There was nothing funny that came out of any of that. Make of that what you will. Yeah, please come on to my podcast. And the thing is, interestingly enough, DSP and Rich are abusive, just in separate ways. Like, I don't think Rich is physically abusive. I have no proof of that, but I don't think it either. But verbally and emotionally, yeah. And you know DSP is not like that. I can only guess if he reaches a fever pitch how he talks to Cat sometimes. Because like you said, he's broke. As far as I'm concerned, given how rotund Cat is, he's broken her down to damn near the lowest common denominator. And I was trying to tell ProleteR this, she picked up some of his mannerisms. She kind of only speaks when he allows her to. That's not a free thinking person. You know what I'm saying? And she has a job. She leaves the house. So it makes me wonder. It makes me go back to that blurry picture that was going around, right? The person who took it, let's say hypothetically, I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there. If that person works with her, I would love to know what is she like outside the fucking snort floor. I'm assuming that she's reserved and whatnot. The picture's too blurry, so I can't make nothing out of nothing. Maybe she's smiling. Maybe she's joking with some people. Maybe she is, maybe she ain't. But I would assume if you've put on that much weight, she's been broken down. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that too. I don't think he's hitting her, obviously, and whatnot. I think that goes back to that claim that supposedly Subaru Man was abusive or whatever the case may be, which was in poor taste for DSP to bring that up the way he did, to be honest. If that was the case, why didn't you say that on your own stream? Why did you say it over there? And what brownie points did you think you were going to get out of that? Oh, guys, yo, Subaru Man was beating her, man. I'm going to have to give the game up. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, hoist my jersey, give me my roses, and I'm out. Was that what he was expecting? Come on. So, I'm not even sure. But that certainly wasn't enough for me to give the game up, to be honest. And don't be wrong, I don't condone domestic abuse or whatever the case may be. But that's not going to make me give the game up. That's just not working. That's not working. But yeah, so hopefully you guys, like I said, hopefully you guys check out the Popeye video. I think it's hilarious. Hopefully you guys will like it. Thank you guys for sticking around for this stress test. We're coming at the 2:30 mark, which is a little more than what I was thinking, but I had to sit there and have my Kuwaiti stuffed Oreo segment. So, you know, I appreciate you guys sticking around for that. Hey guys, like I said, thank you again and whatnot. Had a great time. Snortbucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Big ups to Chiyo, big ups to ProleteR, big ups to all my fellow detractors, whether I criticize you or not, or I know you or not, and whatever the case may be. Like I said, hopefully next time I have something a little bit more structured for you. Maybe, hopefully. And let me put this back in the chat for you guys. Please check out this channel. And if you like it, like I said, sub. I don't know them or anything. I just know that the content is funny. I know that the fucking content is funny. And that's all realistically I need to know. And let me throw, and I salute all of y'all and whatnot. Stay up in the struggle. And that's not supposed to come out like that. Oh, well. Oh, that's because my name is too long. That's funny. That's kind of hilarious. Anyway, actually, let me try some. Can I fix that? Still did it. That's hilarious. My name has come back to haunt me. Anyway, big ups to all you guys and whatnot. Take care of yourselves. Like I said, I'll catch you guys hopefully next week, if anything, and whatnot. I'll hopefully have something a little bit more structured for you. Take care of yourselves, people.